Man, this game is just too funny. I mean, I literally just picked up some people in the house. Ah, those poor, poor people. What's going on? The weirdest game I've ever played. Katamari Damacy is such an odd game, and I think it's the first game to have this odd concept. Of course, you'd have games that have similar concepts to this, but this game had a special way of making this concept look the best. So why not talk about it, Eve? Right. Katamari Damacy is the first game in the Katamari series. It came out in 2004, meaning I'm older than this game. By a year. Of course, the version I was talking about was the PS2 version, but recently, a remastered version, or as they call it, a rerolled version, has been released for the Switch and PC. Odd choice of platforms. Why didn't they just put it in the PS4 and the Xbox while they were at it? For reasons, I'll be reviewing this game on the rerolled version, but I'll go back and forth from time to time. Here we go. The story is... The characters that you will need to know here are the Prince of all Cosmos, the King of all Cosmos, and the Hoshino family. So the game starts off with the king just bumping into stars, as you would normally do. This ended up breaking all the stars. And the moon. It is your job as the prince to roll up Katamari balls, to bring back the stars to space. Now why is the Hoshino family so important? Well, you see, the father, Tomino Hoshino, is an astronaut, and he's going to the moon. Now, we can't have the moon not existing and the humans noticing such a small thing happening now, can we? Throughout the game, you'll see that the Hoshino kids are finding out the stars have disappeared and are slowly appearing again. So, Katamari, what the heck is this? Is probably what you're thinking throughout your playthrough. As I mentioned, you play as the Prince of all Cosmos, rolling up Katamari balls. A Katamari ball is this ball that collects objects for some unknown reason. The more items you collect, the bigger it will become. Now, I'm no scientist, but I know rolling up a ball with this many things and is that big shouldn't move so fast. Maybe the prince is some bodybuilder. Who knows? Every item has an amount you could collect it at. If your Katamari is small, some items will be obstacles. And once you're big enough, those items will become collectible. The designers really have a great way of making the environment of what's collectible and not so seamless. It's amazing. If you thought the game was weird already, just wait until you see the controls. The way you move is, you use both analog sticks and point them to the direction you want to go. So if you want to go forward, you point both sticks forward. If you're playing the Switch version, you'll have the option to use motion controls. If you decide to use it, you point both Joy-Cons to the direction you want to move. There are other movement options you have available as well. Changing the position of where the prince is standing is as simple as just moving the right stick left or right. To change the camera, you could either press R1 or L1. To quickly turn, press both analog sticks. And to use the Royal Dash, a move that allows you to move faster for a period of time, you quickly move both analog sticks forward and backwards, but not at the same time. They're hard to get used to at first, but once you know how to play, any Katamari game will be easy to control. Now levels are almost always the same. You have two different types of levels, Mecha Star levels and Mecha Constellation levels. Mecha Star levels are like vanilla levels. They don't have you doing anything specific other than becoming a certain size within a certain time limit. Mecha Constellation levels have you making a specific constellation. The levels aren't actually called Mecha Constellation, but actually make, then the constellation's name. These levels have you collecting specific things, whether it's crabs for cancer or twins for Gemini, but there isn't a specific goal here. If you were doing the cancer mission, you could just pick up one crab and that would be enough to finish the level. I find these levels, for the most part, boring, as there isn't much motivation to even complete them. I also just like making the Katamari bigger, so I enjoy the Mecha Star levels. There are other modes that you can play, and when I say other, I mean one, multiplayer. Now look, up until this point, we know you've only been playing as the prince. But what if I told you he has second cousins you can play as? Only in multiplayer. Maybe it was hard for them to implement them as a character you can control in the hub, I don't know. In multiplayer, you and the other person are both competing to make your own Katamari as big as possible. You can ram into each other and try making each other's Katamari smaller, as well as rolling up the other player until they break free. This is a surprisingly competitive mode and it's really fun. If you have someone willing to play with you, I recommend you guys do. It's pretty fun. Uh-oh, the collectibles are calling my name. Since they are, might as well talk about it. Although second cousins are unlocked, it really can't be classified as a collectible, not in this game at least. However, they can be classified as an item you can collect. What I mean by this is, Katamari has a place that shows you all the items that you've collected. So to truly get 100%, you'll have to collect at least one of every item this game has to offer. Yeah, not worth my time. Then there are the royal presents. This allows you to obtain cosmetics. There is one on every level, but they're really hard to find. I never remembered it being this hard, but it's fun trying to find these. It makes you discover a level more and pay close attention. It also gives the game a sense of replayability if you haven't got all the presents. After you beat the game, you unlock a vault. In this vault, you can watch all the cutscenes again and listen to songs in the game. The cutscenes have an iconic design, which is the same art style the game has. There are two types of cutscenes you'll get, the story cutscenes and the constellation cutscenes. The story ones are the main cutscenes, but the constellation cutscenes has Michiru Hoshino feel the constellations come back. Speaking of the Hoshino family, their name, it suits the game, as Hoshino in Japanese means stars. Of course, we could also look at this as a name, but I like how they gave those characters the space theme. So we all may have heard one song from a Katamari game. I said may have. I don't know about you, but I can easily say this is Namco's best soundtrack, or at least one of the best. Many people's favorite is Lonely Rolling Star, so if anyone in Katamari made it in Smash for some odd reason, expect this song to be in. My personal favorite is The Moon and the Prince. A majority of the songs in this game have vocals. Normally, I would prefer game music without vocals, but almost all songs in this game are amazing. I say almost because Angel's Flavor's Present has to be an abomination of a song for me. It gives me a headache every time. All styles of music are so different to each other. I wouldn't say they fit the game, but unintentionally, they fit the game so well. I don't even know why there are calming songs in this game. Everything's just so wacky. But overall, I think this game's music is memorable. I really enjoy playing Katamari Damacy, but honestly, this isn't my favorite Katamari game. I do really admire the coding that went into this game, as it looked like it was a hard job. However, Katamari Damacy got a remake. Although it did, can I say I like it? Here's the thing. It definitely is Katamari Damacy. You would expect they would at least put some new things to make the game more enjoyable than the PS2 version. Sure, it looks better with its HD models and textures, but that's almost really the new thing this game has going for it. The other is, when you're behind an object, it shows you where you are instead of just saying Katamari Damacy. Even with all the games after this one, they didn't even bother modernizing at all. For example, Wheel of Katamari added a feature to show you if you got a collectible in the level, which would have been a really handy thing in this game, but they decided to turn a blind eye. The only thing I could really think of for this game to have such little effort is it was made by newcomers to Namco or something. But then again, it was directed by Keita Takahashi himself. I don't know, I guess I'm saying this was kind of a turn down. And if you have the PS2 version, there is no real reason to buy this version.
Katamari Damacy will always have a special place in my heart, as well as the series. Such an idea is just too quirky for my brain, but because it is quirky, I enjoy it. Keita Takahashi has such a way of making weird things look normal. And with Watam being his most recent project, I can't wait to try it out. You know, all this Katamari talk is just making me crave to play Katamari on my PS2. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that later. I'm gonna call it a day. I played enough Katamari for today. Whoa, look at the time! It's almost midnight.
Who said that? Was it from the TV?
Come.
Come? The TV said to come.
Yes. Come inside me.
It's telling me to come. I have to go in.
Reach inside.